everyone, welcome back to another lesson. Today's learning goal is I can determine the effects on the graph when a parent function is manipulated. Again, parent function is the most basic form of a function, and we've only done with linear functions so far, okay? So we're going to be doing it with linear functions, and later on we'll be doing it with other kinds of functions as well. Here it says when f of x equals x, so that's a linear function right there, is transformed by a times f of x, or f of b of x, the slope of the function will be changed by a factor of a or b. If a or b is less or is greater than 1, the slope will become steeper. If a or b is less than 1 but greater than 0, the slope will become less steep. Okay, so here it says describe how each function below will compare to the parent function of f of x equals x. 3/4 f of x is going to be less steep than the parent function because 3/4 is less than 0, or less than 1, excuse me. While f of 4 of x is going to be more steep than the parent function. And we'll talk about why this is the case right here, okay? Why that is the case later on in class. Rows graphed f of x equals x and g of x equals bx below. Find the value of b. Well, here we find that the slope of g of x is 2/3. So therefore, this is going to be f of 2/3 x. So it's 2/3. Here, the slope changed from 1 to -2. So therefore, our slope is going to be, when it says that a f of x, or we're trying to find out what a is, it's going to be -2. Here it says the function f and h are shown on the grid. Circle the name of the student who correctly wrote the function represented by h. Each function for the incorrect student. Describe how their function would relate to the function beneath their work. Okay. So here we went from a slope of 1 to -1. And the only one that does that is going to be Daniel. Daniel got it correct because he has a -1 in front of the f of x. Pamela's would have transformed this by moving it down 1. And Jen's, well, the Jen's would have moved it to the right 1. Eduardo will graph f of x equals x and g of x equals f 5/3 of x on the same grid. Which function will have a steeper line? Go ahead and try this one out and explain it on your own. What you should have found is that g of x would have a steeper line because 5/3 is greater than 1. Number 1, and it would specifically have a slope of 5/3. But number 7, Delilah will graph f of x equals x and v of x equals 2 f of x minus 3 on the same grid. How will f of x or v of x relate to f of x? Well, here, because multiplication comes first, we would always do the multiplication first. Okay, so here we'd have a steeper line and transform it down 3. The function f of x equals x has been transcribed as shown below by line C. So this is f of x equals x. Describe the transformation and write a function for c of x that shows how it relates to f of x. Well, f of x has a slope of 1. C of x has a slope of -4. So we're going to have to make it have a slope of -4, and then we're going to have to move it up 3 because the y-intercept is 3. So therefore, our function is going to be c of x equals -4 f of x plus 3.